We are turning next to the domestic aviation market, where we're hearing that passengers who exhibit any of the symptoms of coronavirus upon screening at the domestic terminal of the Kotoka International Airport will be denied boarding of flight. This is according to the Director of Public Health of the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Bedusa Akwode, who says the directive is part of the stringent measures to be implemented at all airports to help prevent the spread of the virus as domestic flights begin operations this week. Speaking to my colleague Sheila Tamaklu, Dr. Bedusa Akwode added that wearing of face masks by passengers is now compulsory.
We would make sure that we screen for signs and symptoms, check for temperatures, and then ask if the people are coming from affected areas within the country. Indeed, we will not mention outside, because for now we are aware that the various borders are closed. But then within the country, there are areas affected, and the use of the health declaration form would enable us to establish if people are coming from this area, and then to pay particular attention to such people, whether they have been in contact with affected people, whether they have been in contact with non-confirmed cases. These would be well monitored and followed up, so that we can make sure that the people don't spread the disease as we start those domestic flights. Then if there are suspected cases, we have to link these people to the various districts, either where they are going or where they are coming from, so that they can be adequately monitored closely and then followed up to find out should there be any development of interest that we have to take note as well. Ensuring adherence to social distancing tactics is very key. One, as the people are getting ready to enter the airport. Two, as they are within the airport. Three, when they get on board in the flight. I think these are things that we have to work with the airport operators to make sure that they shouldn't get congested, and then cram people together.
Now, if somebody's temperature is checked and perhaps the person is showing some symptoms, does it imply that the person will be denied boarding?
Indeed, we have to start investigation, and if you check your temperature, you put a risk. You would not subject you to put a risk to others. So this understanding has to be established, and we have to communicate to people to appreciate this. So if you are having temperature, if you are coughing, and we think that you will put a risk once you get on board, we have to restrain you and not to permit. But then this will require that there is dialogue between the airline operators, dialogue between the airport operators, and then general information to the people in the airport. And indeed, I have to mention that the use of face masks is very important this side, and that all the people on board, we have to ensure strict enforcement of the use of face masks around the airport, within the airport, and then also particularly within the air flight.
Joining me now as Sales and Marketing Manager for Domestic Carrier Passion Air, Samuel Razak Techi, to tell me more about resumption of flights. Thanks for your time this afternoon. Let's talk about the new health protocols you're hearing about. How prepared is your airline for this?
Yes, good afternoon. We are prepared. We expect to start our operations hopefully tomorrow. And we have certain protocols in place. Now, these protocols include mandatory sanitization, hand sanitization. We also have mandatory temperature checks. And passengers will be required to wear face masks on the flight. Throughout the whole duration of the flight, you're supposed to wear your face mask. We would also be
Oopsie, we'll try and get the connection back to Samuel Razak Techi, who is the Sales and Marketing Manager for Passion Air. But like we have been reporting, new health protocols have been rolled out to guide the resumption of domestic flights, which he's telling me his airline would begin tomorrow. We've also heard from Awa, who is also planning that. So you were explaining to us, and great to have you back, what protocols you have in place.
Yes. Yes, we have a mandatory hand sanitization, and this should be done before you board the flight. We also have mandatory temperature checks that will also be done before the flight. during the flight or in the course of the flight or before you board the aircraft, you are expected to have your face mask, which you are expected to don throughout the whole flight. And then also we'll be ensuring some kind of social distancing during the flight.
Okay, so two questions in one. Have you had any bookings yet now that, we're getting indications that you can travel? And how do you make up for the losses? Because, for instance, you have to do social distancing and all of that.
No, people are actually booking. People are interested in flying. They have other things to do. So we are getting some bookings. It's encouraging, considering the fact that this is just the first flight after the lockdown was lifted. With regard to what we're doing regarding our fares still remains unchanged. It's still the same. We'll just be managing the capacity on the aircraft because of the social distancing protocol. All
right, Samuel Techi, thank you so much, Sales and Marketing Manager at Passion Air, and happy that at least we can travel via air domestically for now.